Hello everyone, it's Casey, and I figured it might be a little insightful if I provided some light commentary on these pieces and went over some of my creation process. I mean, I don't think either of these clips are all that complex, but if you're in the mood to humor me and stick around, please do. Also ignore this microphone, it's kind of crap. The first piece I animated was Karate Man Kicks, which I was pretty stoked to get since it kicks off the Rhythm Heaven DS section. My initial idea for this was a bit more complex than how it appears now. As you can see from this early storyboard, Karate Joe and Karate Man Sr. would start out training in a rainy dojo setting, and there would be a few more dynamic shots, which culminates in them standing atop a cliffside. I figured I could scale it down by just making the dojo scene the entire shot, but part of me would have liked to flesh that out. The backgrounds were made in Photoshop using a few different brush styles, and then I just brought the different layers into Adobe Animate for some parallax effects. Afterwards, I just slapped a filter on top of it. I thought, in order to save some time on this since I was animating Rhythm Damashi at the time, that I wouldn't actually storyboard or even sketch out a lot of the poses during the sequence. If I remember correctly, I just drew a stick figure, doing some of it to get the timing on the kick part. I would not recommend that, actually. I think the time saved not doing the rough animation doesn't really make up for the time you spend figuring it out on the fly. Let's go ahead and move on to the rat race segment. I spent way less effort on this one, had some more fun doing it, and I liked it more anyway, so go figure. Maybe if I stopped caring so much, I could actually be productive. Something to think about. Most of the work on this was done during brainstorming because I wanted some sort of hook to the scene that made it slightly more unique than what it's based on. Initially, I had this idea where 9-Volt from WarioWare would be playing Rat Race in bed, and then his mother would come into the bedroom and he'd have to hide under the covers during the same part where the rats hide from the cat. And while I like that idea on paper, I think the execution would have been a bit too complex for the average viewer since they'd have to recognize all that within a few seconds, and I would have preferred to just stick to Rhythm Heaven anyway. From there, I was thinking about switching out the cat with a different cat, and since Forthington came to mind, I gave him a reason to be there by making the rats steal one of his birdies. Just like before, this was done entirely with no storyboard or rough process. I would sketch out the basic shape of the characters, section them out in layers, and just go from there. Luckily, the shapes of these characters are simple enough that I could make progress super easy by just tweening all the different body parts. I especially liked drawing Forthington and making all of his facial features settle into place when he pops up. Does it bother you that his eyes go in the opposite direction of the original cat? Because it sure as hell bothers me. That's all I can really say about these two pieces. I've been wanting to be a part of an animation collab, and I really couldn't have asked for a better project than this. It was super fun to watch and super fun to be a part of. I would say check it out, but you've probably already seen it, so just do it again. There's way better submissions on there than mine anyway. And if you've made it this far, let me know if you like this commentary stuff. I figured it might be fun to do something similar for Rhythm Damashi, but I also don't want to just spam my uploads with what is virtually the same project twice. Either way, thanks for watching, and see you again in 20 years.